Yo, what is going on, everybody? ABC Anthony here. Welcome back to another video. And I have a massive problem because I literally cannot stop printing multiple thousands of dollars with image ads. I can't fucking stop. No matter what I do, I can't fucking stop doing it. And a lot of people have been asking me on X, which by the way, follow me on X if you haven't, but in the community on X, in the YouTube comments, if I run any video ads to generate any of these kinds of results? And the answer is no. I do not run any video ads. In fact, I run exclusively on image ads, and none of the content is ripped because I can create everything with AI. So I'm going to teach you in this video so that hopefully you can watch this video from start to finish and you can learn how to use image ads to your advantage to be able to print money with any dropshipping store, that whether you're just starting out or whether you currently have a store and you want to make it more profitable and scale it further. This is going to be the video for you. And I'm going to show you exactly how I create image ads step by step and just teach you the entire thing on a store that is live. Of course, as you guys know, I'm not sure if there's any other, there might be a couple of other people on YouTube that show the entire store, the website, the funnel, the ads, literally fucking everything. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, let's get into the video. Okay, before we dive in, I just want to spend like 30 seconds talking about the methodology and the philosophy of creating any high converting ad, whether it's an image or video, because a lot of beginners get into the space, they think, or they start typing up in YouTube, how to make image ads, how to make UGC ads, how to make dropshipping ads. And they think that if you go on YouTube right now and you search, you're just going to see a bunch of fucking just fucking cringeworthy content of people saying, oh, AI UGC is the next big thing. This kind of video ad is the next big thing. Steal my secret ad formula. And guys, I'm here to tell you, it's not the fucking ad formula. It's not the software that you use. It's not how you edit the videos. It's not ripping content. Like, you guys need to stop doing that already. It's not ripping content. It's really coming down to your ability to do this right here, which is to look at your ad account data, look at your market research, look at your competitor research, okay, your competitors, your competition's ads, to synthesize that, meaning to analyze all of it, blend it all together, and then from there formulate a hypothesis. And every creative that you formulate, whether it's an image or a video, should be some kind of hypothesis. And if you don't know what a hypothesis is, it's basically your theory going into a test of what your expected outcome is to be. Now, in order to actually have a hypothesis, right, a hypothesis is usually comprised of variables, or variables are the constituents of a hypothesis. So every creative that you test, and these are just the variables that I look out for and that have allowed me to get these results that you're seeing on screen on this live store, that have allowed our students to absolutely crush and get amazing results. I just want to flex on our community real quick because I mean, Sammy's closing in on $500,000 fucking dollars, baby. We've got people hitting 1K profit days. This guy's hitting his spend limit. Bryce literally can't stop printing. He has the same problem that I do, which is that he can't stop printing with image ads. So every single creative that you test needs to be comprised of a desire, an angle, an awareness level, an ad format, and an overall reason for testing. So obviously, if we're testing and creating images, then the ad format itself is locked away. You already have that locked down. The things that we are really leveraging that make image ads convert just as well, if not sometimes better than video ads, is really these three elements right here: the desire, the angle, and the awareness level. And what's great with static ads is that when you run a video ad, if you run even a 30-second video ad, a video ad is comprised of so many, literally like millions of frames worth of visual stimuli. You've got audio. There are so many things that impact the performance of a video ad that it's very difficult for you to observe a correlation between the messaging in a video ad and the outcome of a video ad, because there's so many different elements to impact. You've got the hook, you've got the type of creator that you use, you've got the tone of voice that she uses, you've got the whether or not she's excited, whether or not she's like dull, you've got whether or not it has how many edits, whether or not you put any effects. Whereas with an image ad, it's very simple. It's a static piece of content. It does not move. And so you're eliminating a lot of the visual aesthetics and visual kind of stimuli that could impact the performance. And it's a lot easier for you to focus then on the messaging and to identify whether or not the messaging is actually driving performance, because on a static, nothing's moving. There's nothing overly complicated about it. Whereas on a video, there's so many different things that could impact the performance. And so with an image ad, all you need is a desire. So in other words, what people want to get out of the product. You need an angle, the story, the framework, the positioning of the product that's going to make them want that desire now, and then an awareness level. So awareness, you've got all the way from unaware, which is people who don't even know yet that they have a problem, let alone that they need a solution to a problem, all the way to most aware, which is people who already know about your brand. And majority of the time when I'm running image ads, I'm really going to be targeting unaware or problem-aware audiences, meaning people who don't even yet know they have a problem, or people who already know they have a problem, but aren't yet aware of any solutions to that problem. So those are the three things that I like to focus in on in my creative hypothesis, because the ad format is already locked in. And let me show you now how I actually come up with these images. Okay, so I try to keep anything to do with a system, with a process, as simple as possible, because if you guys have ever toyed around with like Notion calendar planners, or like, yeah, just any Notion second brain templates, or if you've gotten like really into productivity, sometimes designing the system and like tinkering away in Notion is, you spend more time doing that than you do actually like getting more productive because of that system. So that's why, like, to this day, I don't use Notion. I don't use anything crazy. I use the Notes app on my phone. I have this notebook here if I want to write shit down. And I try to keep everything, even my course is designed to be read on a fucking Google Doc, because simplicity is always the answer, and the way that you get the best results is by just keeping things stupid simple. So this is my routine for coming up with image ads. And don't worry, we'll walk through some examples of recent tests that I've launched and other image ads that are working well in the Purify ad account. So for those of you guys that love seeing the ad account, don't worry, okay? Don't click off this video. I know your dopamine fried brain, just like my dopamine fried brain, is itching to click on the sidebar. Just stick around for another couple minutes. And this is the creative planning routine that we go through. So what I'm going to do is every day, pretty much, I'm going to look at my last 7 days of performance on the ad set level. And then I'm going to filter by amount spent from highest to lowest. I'm going to find my top 5 winning ads for the week based on spend and CPA. I'm going to identify the desire, angle, and awareness level and format being used. And then I'm going to spend 15 minutes analyzing all of last week's tests and then document those learnings in the creative hit rate tracker. So let me show you what this tracker looks like. Okay, so this is just an example creative hit rate tracker that I just filled out. It's nothing crazy complicated. Guys like Nick Terrio, other YouTubers have basically created their own versions of this. This is my version of this. Just watching all that content and using it myself. Basically, what I do is after I analyze my creatives, I spend 15 minutes documenting all the learnings and taking note of any ad formats that I use, the concept, the mass desire, the avatar, the angle, the awareness level. Super simple. I just want to, again, be able to break things down into their constituent elements, because this is how, unless you're breaking it down into your creatives down into these variables, then you're not going to know what to actually test in your next test. You're just going to be creating creatives. And when you can break things down, it's almost like if this was a meal, right? If this was a recipe for like a Gordon Ramsay 5-star dish, the only way for you to improve that recipe or to know how to make that recipe is to know what are the individual ingredients that comprise that recipe. And if this, your output, right, or your creative test or your recipe or your dish is not coming out the way that you want it, then it's very important that you know the individual elements going into it. Like with a recipe, again, you need to know what the ingredients are, how much of each ingredient you're putting in. And that will allow you to then make adjustments to those variables, like putting less of a certain ingredient or putting more of a certain ingredient. That will lead to changes in outputs. But again, that's only going to come if you break it down, if you know the ingredients that are going into your dish. So again, we're going to spend 15 minutes going and analyzing all of last week's tests. And then we're going to choose one ad variable we want to test for based on the data. So we're going to look at all of our creatives. We're going to see what are the opportunities that we could test for in an upcoming test. So if I go back all over the place here, but let's say for me, I already know, like with an image ad, I have tested and found a winning desire. Great. That means that I can go ahead and test a new angle. And so I choose one variable that I want to test for. I'm not going to test multiple variables at the same time. I'm going to test one variable. So that means if I have an ad and I know the desire, angle, awareness level, and ad format, I'm only changing one thing. So if I want to test a UGC video, I'm going to keep the awareness level, I'm going to keep the angle, and I'm going to keep the desire. If I want to test a press mention ad, I'm going to keep the awareness level, the angle, and the desire. If I want to test a new angle, I'm going to keep the desire, the awareness level, and the ad format. if I'm going to test a new awareness level, then I'm going to keep the desire, the angle, and the ad format the exact same. So hopefully you can kind of see how we're only changing one thing at any given point in time. And that allows us to be really intentional with testing, and then to be able to learn really quickly from every test, because only one thing is changing. So we know if we get a difference in performance, what is actually causing that, because again, we're only changing one thing. Okay, let's go back. All right, so based on that data, we're going to formulate a minimum of 3 hypotheses. And a hypothesis is something as simple as, I think testing this new angle on top of this winning desire will improve my performance, or something as simple as, since I know what desire and angle is performing, I want to test both of those things against new ad formats. Something super duper simple, okay? Next, what we're going to do is we'll do some research. We're going to take notes of any new potential angles, desires, pain points, and sales arguments we want to test. And this is where we get into the image ad creation process. So after we do that, we're going to do our competitor research, and then we're going to save any top performing ad formats and content styles we want to test as well. So I'm going to go into Get Hooked, for example, and I'm going to share with you some inspiration ads that I found for Purify that I am testing currently. So I go through all my filters, I explore, I set the filters to performance. I set these to high performance. I limit the number, or I actually take the limiter off because I want to see all the top performing ads from brands. Ad format, I keep it on image. Static ad style, leave blank. Status, active. And then from there, I'll usually put, let's do runtime of 14 days. And then from there, you can select whatever your niche is. So for me, that's pets. And then I'm just going to go through and look at any creatives that I think could perform well, or I'm going to look for any potential variables that I think I want to test. So if I was testing, Jesus Christ, where is it? So if I was testing for, if I wanted to test some new angles, then I could do competitor research to find new angles. But when it comes to creating image ads, the main thing I'm looking for is different styles of images. So I'm not really concerned about the messaging. All I'm looking for is potentially high performing formats. And I know these are all high performing because they've been on for at least 14 days, and I have the performance filters set to high. So as you can see here, this looks like an image ad that I could definitely test as a really good fit for my brand. And then I will basically just simply save this to my folder here. And if you're not using a tool like Get Hooked, then save the link, take a screenshot of it, put it on a Google Doc, keep it simple. I'll basically repeat this process across at least 3 potential statics that I want to create. And that's excluding variation. So I'm looking for net new concepts here, or unique and distinct concepts. Like this is a really, stop feeding your cat shit. Your cat deserves this. This is great. I'll take that. Thank you. Okay. And then let's go ahead and find one more. Oh, this is sick. I want to take that for sure. Okay. This breaking news one's sick. I kind of like that too, even though it's not in the right language. And honestly, doing some legit research here. Oh, shit. Okay, cool. So we've done the research. Again, you should spend way more time doing research than I just did there. But we've gone ahead and done the research now. And now we have some potential formats that we want to test. So what I'm going to do is look at each of these 3 formats. And again, going back to our creative hypothesis, I'm going to test these formats with the desire, angle, and awareness level that I know are currently working for me. The way you know what's working for you is you just go into your ad account and you filter by amount spent, and you see the best performing ads. And then you break down what desire is working, what angle is working, and what awareness level is targeting. And then from there, you can change the format. Okay, so here's an example of what I was talking about earlier. What I would do is look at last 7 days of performance. I'm going to filter this on the ad level by amount spent. Okay. Desire, amount spent, highest, lowest, and I'm going to look at the ads that have the highest spend and also the highest volume of conversions. So obviously, this is a very small sample size worth of data, but just to give you an example, I would probably be looking at these 2 ads here. This one has spent more, while this one has spent, this one spent like slightly more. So obviously, this looks way stronger of a performer. So we would look at this ad and I would analyze, okay, what desire is working here, what angle is working here, and how can I bring that messaging into a new format? So an easy way to do this is just to grab this. You should already have a specific desire that you're testing for. So you should know the desire. You should know the angle that's being written for here. And then what I want to do is basically copy this, bring it into a tool like Claude. And I do this like in a very crude way because I believe that speed, especially when it comes to getting new ads into your ad account, is more effective than having the perfect like headline or the perfect format, or just like the most like obsessing over the tiny details. That's not where you get the big gains with image ads. You get the big gains from making sure that your messaging is on point, and then from there, just launching as many as humanly possible. So what I would do is basically throw this into Claude, and I would say, please help me, or this is my best performing copy. Take note of the desire and angle, and help me recreate the Notes app ad from this cat food brand. Oh, so I made some adjustments to the prompt, and I forgot to say just use the same desire angle and awareness level as my copy. And let's let this spit this out real quick, gather my thoughts. Okay, let's see here. Yep, perfect. Problem aware, but not solution aware. Yep. Okay, all of this is on point. Okay, wait, let's say you are writing copy, actual copy. All right, just had to give it some coaching there real quick. Let's see if it understands it. Wait, no. Wait, no, you misunderstand. All right. Okay, hold on. Okay, so after a little bit of coaching, finally, Claude was able to understand exactly what I was asking for. And as you can see, I basically asked it to write the text overlays for the Notes app ad for my brand. And all I'm going to do is just make sure, does this use the same awareness level? Boom. Okay, so as you can see, we're basically just working with Claude to be able to ensure above all else that the desire, angle, and awareness level match up. So there we go. Okay. All right, so now we have, and I'm going to ask it for, please give me 5 variations. And don't mention cancer, you fucking idiot. Trying to get me banned. This thing mentions cancer, Jesus Christ. All right, here we go. So now we got version 1. And again, all we're doing here is recreating this particular ad right here. Visually, to recreate this, I'm not going to go through that in detail because it's super simple. You can just load this up into Canva. You can load up your Notes app. But that's basically the process that I would repeat for this ad and this ad. And I'm going to show you how I was able to recreate some of these ads here in just a second and then launch them as tests. Okay, so here's a Canva project for an ad that I created a couple hours ago. And as you can see, here is the inspo ad that's been on for 65 days. And here is my recreation of that ad. Again, leveraging the same desires and angles that are already working in my ad account, just swapping the format. So going into my actual ad account, let me show you, where's my cost cap campaign? There it is. Okay, so I launched these 2 new ad sets today, right? And there are the actual ad creatives. And what you'll notice is that they are using the same copy, they're using the same desire, they're using the same angle. And so that way, if I go to test this, the only thing changing and the only thing that could impact the performance is the format, okay? So basically with every test, when it comes to image ads, you wanna make sure that you are really leveraging strong messaging because again, with an image, there's a lot less going on. And so it's really critical that what you're saying, either in your copy or on the image, really resonates with your audience. And then you can go bring that into future formats like other images and videos as well. And I basically repeat this process pretty much every single day. Not every ad that I create is going to be based on my competitors. I will more often than not be launching my own original ads and content, but using this ability to have AI that can basically analyze any creative, rewrite that copy, as long as you have an actual desire and angle. You can pretty much apply this to any image ad format. And if you have a spy tool, there are infinite number of ads that you can create. I mean, you can literally launch like 30 to 40 statics in less than an hour if you're moving quickly. So guys, that is going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the content as always. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know, please, in the comments below what kind of content that you want to see next. If you have any questions, again, as you guys know, my goal is to upload at least twice a day for the next 30 days. And so far, I've been doing pretty good on that promise. But I need you guys to comment in the comments below so I can have content ideas and help you out and provide more value. So that way you can take your business to the next level. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the content as always. Leave a comment on what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.